In this video, what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk you through exactly what we do for real estate agents and how we make it so the handoff from appointment to the agent is as seamless and as effortless as possible. So there's no stone left unturned and every party knows exactly what is happening with each individual lead, okay? This is really important. This is a really key part of the journey in terms of an online lead coming through and then booking the appointment is the handoff, because if the handoff isn't clean, then the agent's going to be in the dark and you're just not going to know what type of person you're speaking with. And it's really important that we nail this. And this is exactly what we've built, okay? So just to kind of walk you through everything first of all. So there's a couple of things that I'm going to go through. To start with though, I think it's really important that we start on this page, okay? So this page is the performance page, okay? So every client that we work with, they have access to a page like this. So this is an example page of what one would look like. But as you can see, right, you've got all the information for all the appointments that we've booked, right? So in total, let's say with this example realtor, within maybe like 1 to 2 months, we've booked 14 appointments, okay? From these, you can tap on each individual one and you can see all of the information. You can see the name, the phone, the email, and all of the criteria that we've got for them, right? Whether that's the location, where they're looking to buy in, their budget, their timeline, and not only this, but we can go in there and also the agent can go in there and edit this as well, right? So let's say they speak with them and they find out, okay, they're actually pre-approved for maybe like 1 million, right? And that means that they're gonna have a lower budget. Then they can add this in here and it keeps the information up to date across both us and the agent, which is really important because it allows us to follow up with the leads accordingly and make sure that, it's like we're working symbiotically, which is really important as well. Right, so you've got all the information here. You've got the notes that we've sent to the agent upon booking, right? And we like to be as detailed as possible with this. And it also allows you to come in here and you can log an update, right? So you can say, okay, I had a conversation with them. It was a phone call meeting and they are interested, but the timeline has moved to that they're ready now as opposed to being ready in the next 1 to 3 months. What this is going to do when the agent fills this in, it will send an email to me and my team letting us know straight away so we can update our records and allow us to follow up with them accordingly as well. Now, when I say that this is like one of the key things that allows us to separate us from all of the other agencies out there, I mean it, because what this allows us to do is allows us to work once again symbiotically as a team and manage the leads appropriately across both us and also the agent as well, okay? Now, another way, what we also have as well is as you scroll down here, you can see a full overview of the performance, right? So how many leads we've generated, how many appointments we've got, how many shows, how many no-showed, how many of those came from Facebook, how many of those came from, for sale by owners, right? How many deals actually came from that, how much commission you got from that. So what this is going to allow you to do, is going to allow you to come in here, you can see how many leads we've got, how many appointments we've got, and how much money you've made, which is all that matters at the end of the day, right? And obviously you've got the conversion rates right here. You can see, how many leads come through and what percent of those book into appointments, right? We've got all of this data and all of this metrics here, and it allows us to have a really good bird's eye view of everything and get a really good idea of, okay, where is the ball being slipped, right? If the show rate is really bad and the show rate is like under like 70%, then we know that we need to increase the show rate, right? So it allows us to really get a good idea of everything. And not only that, but allow us to manage the leads accordingly as well. Now, what I do see a lot of companies doing, a lot of other agencies in this space, is what they'll give the agent like another CRM, right? On top of what they've already got, whether they're paying for a CRM at the moment, then they've got 2 CRMs that they need to juggle, the 2 CRMs that they need to manage. It just creates a lot of excess stress and a lot of admin complexity that you don't need, okay? So what we do instead is we have this button here where you can go in here, you can download the leads as a CSV file, and you can go in here and you can see all of this information here, everything that we filled in for each individual lead, and you can just upload this to your CRM so all of your data stays consolidated into one place. It allows you to track it accordingly, right? So you can see all of the information, right? And you can see all of the details, and it'll allow you to fill in the fields that are already in your CRM. So it's a really, really, really clean handoff once again. And we like to build this system so it's as seamless as possible for the agent. So once again, there's no stone left unturned as well, okay? Now from here, once we do book the appointments, obviously, we've had a call with this person, we've got all the criteria that we've got here, and we've also had a conversation with them as well, right? So what we also do is we have this page, and this is from here, so you can go in here, you can see this page, and on here you can look through all the recordings of the people that we speak to, right? So you can tap on this person, you can see the full transcript of the recording, you can listen to it, you can tap back here and you can tap through the transcript, and you can also search through the transcript as well. So if they said something in the call and you want to pull from that place, maybe they said something about like what area they're in, we can search up the area. In this case, the transcript doesn't have an area, but let's say we want to find out the location, right? And if you search up the location here, you can see, okay, location is the biggest priority for him, right? So location first, I work near King, and I'd love to be able to walk to the office, right? So that's a big priority for them, and it allows you to, filter through the call recordings. And a lot of agents, what they'll do, they'll listen to it on the drive to the lead, and allow them to understand the person's personality before they ever speak with them, which is really, really, really important, because then whether you're speaking to an old lady or whether you're speaking to someone who's 30 and they're upsizing because they've just they're starting a family. So this is the page that gets built whenever we book the appointments. But in terms of actually booking the appointment and notifying the agent, we have a couple workflows in place that we actually send to the agent. So first, whenever we book an appointment, we send a booking in an email like this, right? So you can see the new booking, the name of the person, and obviously the date of it as well. And you can see all the details here, and you can hold this button and call the lead straight away, okay? This is just the notification of the booking, okay? And we send another email after this, probably like a few minutes after this, with the criteria of the lead, okay? So this is the email with all the information of the lead. So you can see, obviously, that once again, their name, their number, their email, the date of the appointment, and also the lead's criteria, right? So with this person, they're looking to buy and sell. You can see the price range, right? And the sell, they're expecting around 650 to sell, and they want to buy for 900. They want 2.5 plus bathrooms, 3 plus bedrooms, they want a townhouse. You've got all this information here, and then not only that, but you can also listen to the call recording of that person. You can listen to the call recording and tap through and look through the transcript, which is really, really, really valuable. And once again, you've got that button to call them straight away. And this is really important because the quicker you call the lead after the appointment is booked, the better your chances are going to be in terms of actually having that conversation with them, then building rapport with them straight away and converting them as a client as well, which is all that matters, okay? Now, not only that, but after the appointment, we also send the agent another email like this, okay? So this email is, did this person show or did they no show, right? And this is going to allow us to keep this page up to date as possible in terms of the shows, the no-shows, and allow us to call the appointments and reschedule them in, right? Because you don't get a 92% show rate just from all of them magically showing up, right? A lot of these would have been having to be rescheduled because the first call they didn't show up. So we're calling them and reschedule them in to make sure that, once again, no lead is going lost. It's no lead is slipping through the cracks. Every person we get to speak to, and it allows us to convert as many people as possible from the ad spend from the leads that do come through as well, okay? So as you can see here, you can tap on here, you can open this form, and it allows them to search the specific lead, right? They can fill in whether they're a buyer or seller, whether they spoke with them or not, and they can also fill in the time frame, and this allows us to keep our systems up to date and any additional feedback as well. And this is really important because if the quality of the appointments isn't good, this is what allows us to nurture and edit the ads to make sure that we increase the quality. If something isn't working, we can fix it there and then because the feedback is there for us to do that as well, which is, once again, this is what I stress with all of the agents that I work with. A really, really important part of it is their feedback, because, you know, marketing isn't always going to be perfect. There is always going to be iterations that need to be made and tweaks that need to be made. And that's where this comes in, where we get active feedback from them. And we also have calls every 2 weeks with the agents to, you know, really get some feedback on them, or from all the appointments as an aggregate, to really understand how they're thinking about the appointments and what we can do to improve our systems and improve, you know, the leads that do come through as well, which is once again a key pillar to the service and why it actually works as well. Okay, now the final step as well, because a lot of marketing companies, they don't really do this, but a lot of them do kind of just stop at the appointment stage. Okay, so they book the appointment and then they just leave it to the agent. The agent has to nurture and follow up all of them. And it's a lot of work, and especially with online leads, they require like a minimum of like 6 to 12 follow-ups before they actually become a deal. And that's a lot of work, especially when you've got a lot of appointments coming through and a lot of people to manage. So what we do, and what we also have in place, is an AI nurture sequence to make sure that every lead that comes through, we are nurturing them with personalized follow-up based on what they're looking for. So this is an example of what this would look like, right? So Ryan Bennett, he's a buyer. He's looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom in Southeast Calgary, around 800,000, okay? And we've got a couple must-haves here. So he's looking for a double garage, finished basement, and he wants like a lake community a few months out, okay? Now, as you can see here, what we have in place is we have a nurture sequence that's going to follow up with him accordingly, based on 1, his timeline, 2, his criteria, and 3, obviously his must-haves as well, and whether he's a buyer or a seller, okay? So this is what it looks like. So we've got these messages going out and also emails going out, and this is designed to give him as much value as possible. So our real estate, John, he is going to be top of mind when he actually thinks about moving, right? So as you can see here, this is what this would look like with the emails. Week 2, we send another message. Week 3, he replies. And we also have an AI reply based on his response. And this will also update the cadence of the responses. So let's say he says, actually, I'm actually 3 to 4 months out. It's going to automatically update the nurture sequences based on his response, which is really, really, really clever and obviously really smart, because it allows us to nurture as many people as possible with as much control as possible over what they say, which is really important, rather than it just coming across as generic and the nurture sequence just messaging him as if he's still, you know, like 1 to 2 months out. It allows it to update the system and, you know, send messages according to what he's looking for specifically, which is super important, is exactly what, you know, buyers and sellers are wanting for the agents. And this is what allows us to do this and stay on top of the leads, so our agents get the most deals possible from all of the appointments that we get, okay? Now, if you do want to have a look at this, you can go on this URL here and you can see exactly you know, what this system looks like. You can play around with the features, you can go through and you can edit like the pre-approved, you can edit the timeline, you can do all of this, and you can see exactly what it would look like to work with us, and, you know, the exact handoff of how this works under the hood, right? And if you are interested in, you know, what the system looks like and what it would look like for you in your business, because everything that we do, it's all customized around the agent and their area specifically. If you want to go in here, you can either call me at this number, or you can book a discovery call through this link. And what this will do, it'll allow you to book a call and you can have a conversation with me. I can walk you through our system in a little bit more detail than this, because this is kind of just the tip of the iceberg. And it'll be able to show you exactly, you know, how it would work within your business and, you know, what results you'd expect as well.